walk me through draft night for you. There were many folks who thought you could go a lot sooner than 14. What did you think, and how did that night go for you, Kyle Hamilton?
I thought just in general it was a blessing. I mean, it's kind of surreal. Like I was saying, running out into the field in the NFL, you're like, wow, I'm really in the NFL. It's kind of the same thing in Vegas where I'm sitting in the green room. Like I've probably watched 15 of these, and now I'm actually sitting here with my family. Like, it's a blessing no matter where you're picked at. I always say, telling my friends about all the stuff, like before the draft, everybody's saying where I'm going to go, and I get picked, quote unquote, later than people thought. And I'm just like, if I sat back and told 5-year-old Kyle that you were drafted 14th in the NFL draft, like there's nothing more that a young me could have wanted. So it's a blessing, and I'm just ready to attack the opportunity now. So
you're just hanging out in the green room. You look down at your phone, and it's a 410 area code calling your phone. Is that what happened that night?
It was. I think it was 443.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Baltimore. But
a little Baltimore. Okay.
It was kind of surreal. Like I let it ring for a little bit, just staring at it, but it would have been bad if I let it go to voicemail.
Did you hear that about Kenny Walker, the running back, that the Seahawks wanted to draft him, but his phone was either off or didn't have any reception, and it kept going to voicemail, and he might not.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, those are the things happen. So who called? Who was the person to speak to you first, Kyle?
Eric DeCosta, our GM,
Mm-hmm.
Was the first one to speak to me, and then Coach Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then, honestly, it was a whirlwind. I pretty much talked to everybody in the organization within like 5 minutes. So, but I do know I talked to Coach Harbaugh and DeCosta. So,
mm-hmm.
And then I get off the phone and celebrate with your family and stuff like that. It's a great moment, and something I'll never forget for sure.
So I don't know if it's irony. It could be irony, coincidence, or fate. I don't know what it is, but do you find it any of those three? Which one would you choose that your head coach in the NFL is a Michigan guy? What about that, Kyle? What do you think about that?
I would say it's fate.
Fate.
Maybe a little irony.
Okay.
Maybe a little irony, but because I respect Michigan, and I know you're a Michigan guy.
I am.
And so Michigan, Notre Dame, it's like the cousins that don't really like each other but love each other at the end of the day. And I feel like it's kind of that kind of relationship between Notre Dame and Michigan because similar schools near each other. Just when it comes to sports, don't really get along.
Well, I would choose it a cousin that's afraid to go to the other cousin's house, Kyle. That's the way I would kind of, term it. That's the way I look at it. I respect
both schools have been on the worst side of that.
Okay.
I'm saying Michigan probably more than Notre Dame, but I'll leave it at that.
Okay, very good. Kyle Hamilton here on the Rich Eisen Show. Have you heard from Ed Reed? Has Ed reached out? Have you heard from any old school Ravens at all so far, Kyle?
I actually did talk to Ed when I was training out in LA before the draft, and Ed was out there for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I met him, and we talked for a little bit. He had a cigar, like he always does. And, he's a cool dude, great guy. He's just trying to soak up all the knowledge that I could. And then I talked to him after the draft because coincidentally I go to the Ravens. And, being a highly drafted safety in Baltimore, obviously the question's going to arise every single time. And I was talking to him about that, and he was like, at the end of the day, just be Kyle. You're not going to be Ed Reed because there's one Ed Reed, so just make one Kyle Hamilton. And I appreciated that. It kind of put things in perspective and slowed everything down.
Have you ever picked off a pass, Kyle Hamilton, and attempted to lateral it just because you refused to have the play get over? Has that ever happened to you at all?
I have not.
Okay, so then you don't have the Ed Reed. Then you don't have the Ed Reed in you.
That's on you.
Yeah, you don't have the Ed Reed in you. That's
maybe not yet.
Yeah, Ed was the king of like, okay, this play's over. I'm just going to lateral it and see what happens. He was the king of that.